TV1 රැස්වීදෙන ජීවිතේ.
Newsfirst, main sponsor.
LB Lassa Isaru and unparalleled reward for a trusted deposit.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
Your hygiene partner.
Introducing new Safeguard 100 grams, rupees 175 only.
Hello there, very warm welcome to Primetime News here on News First, where the people come first. You're joining me, Naveksha Gunasekara, and we start off by taking a look at your headlines.
Series of Porto rallies under the theme Let's Rise Together begins from Kalutara.
දානං අපි රනිල්ට බැන්න. දැන් ඉන්නේ රනිල් අපිත් එක්ක. ඉතින් අපි දැන් රනිල් හොඳ කියනවා. මොකද දැන් යහමකට හැරිලායි කියලායි මම විශ්වාස කරනවා.
Will move forward amidst unpleasant experiences. SLPP leaders address the rally.
පොඩ්ඩෙන් මගේ අම්මා නෑ මේ ඉන්නේ මෙතන. එයා බේරුණේ උඹව පාරුවේ.
අරගලේ එක්ක අපට ගැටලුවක් නෑ බෑ අරගල කරුවා එක්ක අපට ප්‍රශ්නයක්.
Those who bankrupted the country trying to make national policies to rebuild the country is a joke, says the opposition leader. Will not stop the struggle against suppression. Aragale activists reiterate.
ජනතාව පාවල දුන්න ඒ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉන්න හොර ඇමතිවරු සෙට් එක පාර්ලිමේන්තුව විසිරවලා ගෙදර යවන්නකම් මේ අරගලය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවා. Will electricity expenses at places of worship reduce? Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission meets Mahanayaka Theros.
In your top story tonight, Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna leader and former President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that President Ranil Wickremesinghe will continue to have the support of the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna to move the country forward. He made these remarks while attending an event held in Kalutara.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarian Rohita Begunavardhana organised the public rally under the title Let's Rise Together, starting from Kalutara. The rally was held at his coordination office, which was set ablaze by the Aragalaya protesters. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and many SLPP parliamentarians attended the event.
As you all know, we are facing many challenges today. We have the strength to overcome those challenges. Based on that strength, we should win those challenges and launch the programs that the people of this country need. I believe the duty of a government is to understand the needs of the people and fulfill their needs. Therefore, we say that today we have taken steps to fulfill that role. Rohita is indeed a big strength to our party. We appreciate his services to build the party. His service is not limited to Kalutara. We should respect him. He walks all over Sri Lanka and accomplishes those tasks. We will save this government and carry out the programs. Let's join together and help Ranil Wickremesinghe's program for this country. Back then, we used to scold Ranil saying he is a member of the UNP. Now Ranil is with us. So now we say good things about Ranil because I believe that he is on the right path now. We will support him and continue this journey. We wish you all every success.
අපි එතුමාට සහයෝගය දක්වමින් මේ ගමන ඉදිරියට යන්න කටයුතු කරනවායි කියන එක මතක් කරමින් ඔබ සියලු දෙනාටම ජය පතමින් මම
The iron power that was able to protect democracy from destruction was the establishment of a parliament majority by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. The president is a member of parliament. He is my friend, my school friend. One parliamentarian cannot form a government. At a time he took over to form the government during the crisis, our president invited him. That time, that strength, the strength that the parliamentary majority enjoyed, was the strength of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. Only my mother was inside my house in Payagala when they attacked it. She was inside a room. My mother could have lost her life. She is sitting here. Through those unpleasant experiences, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will become the beginning of the journey to uplift the country back again. We would like to thank President Ranil Wickremesinghe. He ended the law of the jungle in the country and re-established democracy. The entire Aragale has become home to a group of opportunists. Honorable Prime Minister, we don't have a problem with the Aragale, but we do have a problem with the members of the Aragale. Where are some of them today? They are in the staff of His Excellency the President. This is the reality. Even though Anura Kumar Disanayaka and Kumar Gunaratnam made fun of you with the name Naki Maina, the people of this country will never say that to you. If we fall, our people will not have a future.
We can revive this party. President Mahinda Rajapaksa, no matter what, you will be our leader. No matter who becomes the president, the government must adhere to what you say. If not, we can't do this.
We still have good trump cards and we will use them. We have a good structure. Basil Rajapaksa will lead that structure.
Today, Sri Lanka is facing multiple crises. The World Bank says that our economic growth will decline by 9.2% this year and by 4.2% next year. Children's nutrition and people's quality of life have been challenged in the face of the increasing inflation. Now, according to the World Food Programme, 5 million people in our country skip meals and go to bed hungry. UNICEF revealed in its latest report that we're in the 6th position in the world in terms of countries suffering from child malnutrition. We frequently receive information about thousands of people who are struggling to survive. This is a story of one such family in Dehiyatta Kandiya.
Saman Kumara, his wife and 2 children who live in the village of Diyabeduma Dehiyatta Kandiya live in this small space. Saman Kumara fed his 2 children and wife by doing hired work. But now it is difficult for him to find work. Their youngest son is 10 years old. The daughter is 16 years old. Both these school-aged children are studying with the greatest difficulties.
There is nothing for them to take to school in the morning. There's nothing to eat at noon. Sometimes tea is given for lunch. Providing dinner is also very difficult. There is a small child here. Everything is in one room. My husband doesn't always have work. He gets paid once a month. If he brings 1,000 rupees, it's useless. Not even a kilogram of rice can be bought with that.
This is just one story. Many families in Sri Lanka suffer the same.
On many occasions, the troubles of the people are unheard, resulting in the accumulation of many problems. Gammadha started as a movement to listen to the voice of the people. Over 6 years, Gammadha has identified a plethora of issues being experienced by the people of rural Sri Lanka. The Gammadha door-to-door campaign has entered its 6th campaign. This is just day 4 as Gammadha goes from door to door, listening to the people.
Gammadha door to door.
The teams which had previously visited the Jaffna, Matale and Kalutara districts arrived in the Mullaitivu, Polonnaruwa and Ratnapura districts today. The Gammadha door-to-door campaign, with the assistance of the University of Peradeniya, is on a mission to understand the hardships faced by Sri Lanka's rural communities. Today, our teams travel through many villages in the Godakavela Divisional Secretariat in the Ratnapura district. They also visited the Maddegama village in the Godakavela Divisional Secretariat. The bridge connecting Maddegama and Bibilegama was destroyed by the recent floods. This bridge is the shortest route to Godakavela. Area residents say that the temporary bridge constructed for the convenience of the people is in a dilapidated state. The residents and school children struggle on a daily basis because of this.
We tried collecting money to rebuild this bridge. When we presented our plan, they said there is no one in this village who is rich enough and they cannot allow us to build this as they cannot take responsibility. They deceive us for votes, but they don't build this for us. At times of flooding, children can't cross over. They don't attend school on those days. This collapsed with 3 children on it. That is why we built this small bridge. These people are suffering.
People living in the Kaiveli village in the Pudukodirippu Divisional Secretariat in the Mullatiu district are also facing numerous difficulties daily. The drug menace has heavily influenced the youth in the area. The elders of the village spoke emotionally about the situation.
கஞ்சா பிரச்சனை 16 வயது ஸ்கூல் யூனிஃபார்மோட வந்து கஞ்சா வாங்கினது நான் இந்த கண்ணால கண்டேன். படிக்கிற மாணவர்கள் கூட போய் அந்த கசிப்பு போத வஸ்துகளை பாவிச்சு கொண்டு போறதை பார்க்க மிகவும் வேதனையா இருக்கிறது.
Close to 500 families live in the Irittumadu village. However, they do not have a proper road to travel in and out of the village, making their lives even more difficult. A proper price has still not been given to the harvest reaped by farmers of Hingurakuda who engage in cultivation amidst many difficulties. The Gammada team met these farmers while they were travelling from door to door.
We don't even get a 25% return from our harvests. It has come to a point where we can't cover our daily expenses by selling our paddy.
Unemployment is another factor plaguing these people. This is 20-year-old Shashika Madhushani. She lives in Jayantipura, Hingurakuda. Even though she wants to pursue higher education after completing the ordinary level examination, her parents cannot afford her expenses.
I wanted to go to school, but my parents did not have the money for it. I didn't have money to go for classes. That is why I stopped schooling. My biggest hope is to build this house and take care of my parents. My father did hired work for a living. It has been 4 months since we go here. I wanted to go to a state university, but I was unable to do so as they won't accept me.
Even before the onset of the economic crisis, during previous door-to-door campaigns, Gammada witnessed many individuals facing hardships. The story of Shashika Madhushani is a prime example of how the economic crisis worsened the living conditions of the people of Sri Lanka.
News First with the people.
Frontline Socialist Party Education Secretary Pubutu Jakoda commented on the current political situation at a media briefing held today.
Ranil Wickremesinghe බලයට එද්දී කිව්වේ රාජපක්ෂලාව පුනරුත්ථාපනය.
When Ranil Wickremesinghe came to power, he said that the Rajapaksas would be rehabilitated. But now the Rajapaksas are saying in meetings that they have reincarnated Ranil Rajapaksa. What is happening is very clear. Whether Mahinda is in power or Ranil is in power, the people of these two camps protect each other regardless of who is in power. It is clear that all crimes and fraud, corruption and murder committed by each other is being covered up. Because when Ranil came to power in 2015, no fraud, corruption or murder committed by the Rajapaksas was investigated. Not even the cases of Lasantha Wickrematunge and Pradeep Ekneligoda. They did not take any action regarding any of these political disappearances, political kidnappings and political murders. Not just that, no action was taken on the massive fraud and corruption that had already taken place. After Gotabaya Rajapaksa came into power in 2019 and the Rajapaksa government was formed again, there was no investigation into the Easter Sunday attacks. They did not even investigate the bond scam. These two groups go forward by protecting each other from time to time. The people of the country demanded a system change. Everyone from Ranil Wickremesinghe to Rajapaksa promised to change the system. But this is what we are given. We have to ask, is this the system change?
System change එකද කියන එක තමයි අපිට අහන්න තියෙන්නේ.
A protest against suppression was held in Batiklo.
The protest march began near the Gandhi Stadium and reached the Kalladi Bridge. The protesters demanded the government to stop suppression and repeal the PTA immediately. They also demanded the authorities to immediately release those detained under the PTA. The Anuradhapura United Youth Organisation commented on the suppression of the people's struggle.
ඔය 225
While the 225 are living in luxury, a majority of Sri Lankans are suffering because they don't have enough to eat. Don't try to suppress the youth protests, because it was the youth who took the countries to victory. I want to tell our leaders that there will be young leaders who will come forward, like in South Africa. Student leaders like Steve Biko will be born in Sri Lanka. He was on the side of the people. He was also imprisoned because he protested with the people, but the struggle was not over. After that, young leaders like Nelson Mandela will be born again. They were also seen as terrorists and were imprisoned like us. But their policies didn't change. The purpose did not change. They came out of prison and worked towards making their country prosperous. Therefore, we tell this government not to suppress the youth of this country.
Hashanta Gunatilaka of the Inter-University Students' Federation, who was detained under the PTA and released yesterday, joined a press conference today.
I condemn the acts of the government to suppress the student activists who spoke up when the people of this country didn't have anything to eat, when they were standing in fuel queues and gas queues, and when medicine wasn't available at hospitals. We will fight until the PTA is repealed. We, the student union members, will continue to stand with the people.
The Aragalaya Niyamu organisation, consisting of civil activists, called a press conference for the first time today and expressed their views with regard to the suppression of students.
Why are the comrades of the Inter-University Students' Federation, including Vasanta Mudalige's brother, in jail today? It is for the future of the country, for the workers of the country, for the resources of the country, for professionals in the country. They are imprisoned for them. If this continues, every citizen of this country will have to be imprisoned. Even at this moment, all Sri Lankans are living like they are living inside prison cells. We cried Gota go home because Gotabaya had the same old set of crooks behind him. These protests will have to continue until this set of rogue ministers in parliament who betrayed the people's mandate by saying that they came through the people's mandate are sent home and the parliament is dissolved.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says it's a joke to allow the same group of people who led Sri Lanka into bankruptcy to make new policies to rebuild the nation.
There is no social safety net within this government. The IMF urges for a social safety net. However, this government doesn't seem to focus on this anytime soon. The Kaputa has given a new list to the government to include all his associates back into the cabinet. Until they get a cabinet portfolio, all his associates are in the National Council, and Namal Rajapaksa is the chairman of a subcommittee of this National Council. This committee has been entrusted to create the short-term, medium-term and long-term plan for creating the country's policies. The joke is that the same group which destroyed this country is being told to create plans to rebuild this country. This is the biggest political trick in the country today.
The opposition leader made these comments while attending the meeting of the Yatinuwara electoral district of the Samagi Jana Balavegaya.
We'll be back after a short commercial break. Stay with us.
News First, main sponsor.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD, a trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, 25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
Welcome back to the news. On Living Legends tonight, we take a look at the Commando Regiment of the Sri Lanka Army.
Sri Lanka Army, Living Legends.
The 73-year history of the Commando Regiment of the Sri Lanka Army has created battle-hardened warriors, the best of the best. Members of the Commando Regiment are molded with strict determination, unrelenting courage, relentless pursuit and boundless dedication. The end of the 70s saw a rise in global terrorism and its irregular warfare practices. Anticipating this threat, the Special Commando Regiment Training School focusing on regional security was established in the Diyatalava Alla camp on the 15th of March 1980. As per instruction received from the Sri Lanka Army headquarters, the Commando Squadron was formed. Today it consists of a regimental centre, troops, 4 regiments and 2 training schools. It is compulsory that a Commando soldier completes 3 courses. They are the Commando course, Commando Selection course and Senior Commando course. Commando training includes the Special Investigation Operations, Special Personnel Protection, Airborne Hostage Rescue, Terrorism Operations, Waterborne Operations and Unconventional Warfare Tactics. Commando fighters are highly trained in skills such as urban warfare and hostage rescue. There are 2 training schools for the Commando Regiment. One is located in Uva Kudaoya. This particular camp is surrounded by nature, which is required for intense training of a commando fighter. A commando soldier is capable of carrying out operations behind enemy lines and in army-controlled areas. The Commando Regiment is the starting point of the parachute wing. Jumping from a height of 12,000 feet to the Ampara parachute landing zone is part of the training program of these commando soldiers. Tomorrow night on Living Legends, the defenders of the motherland.
Sri Lanka Railways says that a special express train will be in operation to Anuradhapura every weekend starting today. This is to accommodate tourists and pilgrims travelling to Anuradhapura.
The train will leave Colombo Fort at 9:20 a.m. every Saturday and will reach Anuradhapura at 1:42 p.m. The train will depart from Anuradhapura at 5 p.m. and reach Colombo Fort at 9 p.m. The train includes 480 seats with 10 air-conditioned carriages. Today, Minister of Transport and Highways Bandula Gunawardena also joined the special launch event.
For the first time in history, every weekend at 9:20 a.m., an express luxury train will travel to Anuradhapura. In the afternoon, they will be allowed to visit the shrines including the historic Atamasthana and perform the necessary religious rituals in the afternoon. And as per the will of the devotees, they will be able to visit the Jayashree Mahabodhya. We also hope to travel by CTB buses on Sundays from next week. They will return to Colombo on Sunday at 5 p.m.
However, this train was halted at Galgamua as the Uttaradevi Intercity Express train plying from Kankasanthare to Colombo derailed between Tambuthegama and Senaratgama. A delay in trains was reported along the main and coastal railway lines this morning. The railway department said it was due to a signal failure.
Up next is Crime Watch.
Crime Watch.
The body of a man who was beaten to death with a sharp weapon was found this morning on the road leading to Anuradhapura's Katukaliava village. The police said the man was found dead with stab wounds to his neck. Uditha Eranga Jayatilaka, a 35-year-old father of 4, residing in Lolugaswava, was brutally murdered. The police said the victim was staying at his wife's house last night and was murdered while on his way to his house after receiving a call. The police suspect the murder was a result of a long-standing dispute between two groups. One suspect has been arrested while several other suspects have fled the area.
Crime Watch.
We'll be back after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Local and foreign jobs, solutions to labor issues, and a host of other services for the Galle District at Glocal Fair 2022. The path to success on the 15th and 16th of October 2022 at Summerhill Ground, Galle, along with a grand musical show with popular stars for your entertainment. Log on to www.glocal.lk for more information and to register.
නිවෙස පුරා ගලන මේ සතුට සුරක්ෂිත කරන්නේ එස්ලෝන් ඉන්සයිඩ්. එස්ලෝන් ජීවයයි ජලයයි ජීවිතේ.
How long do you have to escape before disaster strikes? Early warning can be the difference between life and death. Sri Lanka will commemorate the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction as the Disaster Management Centre Sri Lanka, along with international experts from different countries, talk on the importance of early warning and early action for all. Leave no one behind. On the 13th of October 2022 at Cinnamon Lakeside, Colombo. Electronic media sponsor, News First.
An Iranian fishing vessel with about 200 kilograms of heroin was seized in a joint operation by the Indian Narcotics Control Bureau and the Indian Navy. This vessel was headed to Sri Lanka and routed through Indian waters.
The contraband seized during the operation is worth over 53 billion Sri Lankan rupees. Deputy Director General of Operations of the Indian Narcotics Control Bureau, Sanjay Kumar, said, and I quote, "The NCB has now seized the vessel and 200 kilograms of heroin. The 6 Iranian crew members have also been arrested under relevant sections of the NDPS Act 1985, unquote. He said the drug was found in 200 packets each, of which has markings and packing specialities unique to Afghanistan and Pakistan-based drug cartels. He said preliminary investigations revealed that the seized drug was sourced from Afghanistan and was transported to Pakistan. This consignment was then loaded into the now seized vessel off the Pakistan coast in a mid-sea exchange. The vessel then set sail to Indian waters for further delivery of the consignment to a Sri Lankan vessel. He added that efforts were made to identify and intercept this Sri Lankan vessel, but it could not be traced. Singh said the accused tried to escape by jumping into the sea and also tried to dump the consignment into the waters. The NCB said the trafficking of Afghan heroin into India through the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean into India has exponentially increased over the last few years.
The silver anniversary of Gateway College was held in Hambantota on Friday.
Tokens of appreciation were handed over to 8 service providers who have worked with Gateway for more than 15 years by the chairman and directors of the Gateway Group. A ceremonial cake was cut during the event to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Gateway College. Many dignitaries, including long-standing service providers, chairman and directors, cricket legend Aravinda De Silva, and students of Gateway College were present at the event.
And we encourage our students to always look forward. While we impart state-of-the-art learning, we should preserve our values at all times and never deviate from them. Even as individuals, let us not compete with one another. We all, including our dear students, should simply concentrate on beating our own mark on a daily basis. In everything we do, let us share our learning with one another.
Former cricketer Aravinda De Silva spoke about the founder of Gateway College, the late R.I.T. Alice.
The school, Gateway, though I never studied there, Mr. R.I.T. Alice was my principal right through my schooling years. and especially supporting me throughout my career. And for me to be where I am today is due to his hard work, the commitment, and the vision he had towards a successful school which he produced called DS Senanayaka.
A new IT laboratory and a sanitation system was vested with the students of a school in Mahavilachia today.
Gammadda facilitated the opening of the refurbished and air-conditioned IT laboratory with new computers and the newly installed school sanitation system at Saliyamala Vidyalaya, Mahavilachia. Work on the main road, which extends around 4 kilometers from the Mannaram junction to the MR junction, also began today. The special guests were present as work on the road began and proceeded to be welcomed by the school band at the Saliyamala Vidyalaya, where the main event was held. The projects were supported by the HNB Club, and senior manager Michelle De Silva made the following remarks.
I believe education should not be a choice, but is essential for every child. By education, I don't mean what is in the books. I mean creating an environment for them to learn. It is the responsibility of adults like you and I to create an environment for them to develop themselves physically, mentally and spiritually with wonderful experiences.
The ceremony was filled with colourful performances from the school students.
While many door-to-door campaigns are going all across the island, we are here in Yayahaya village, here in Mahavilachia, Anuradhapura district, and we commenced an immense program, big program for these little children who have their eyes filled with hope. Now, I have here with me Mr. Shevan Daniel. Mr. Shevan, what do you think about the initiative today? Have the hearts, hands and the heads of these Gammadda initiative and everyone here today been used for a good purpose?
I think appreciation must go to Club HNB for supporting Gammadda in this endeavor. As you and I have both seen, this village is in a really bad state of underdevelopment. The people are really struggling and have very, very tiresome and difficult lives. And the least that we can do is to make the basic requirements readily available. And for that we already handed over a pure water purification unit a couple of months ago, so the people are at least happy in the sense that they have clean water. And today we handed over a brand new computer lab to the children of the school, and I'm sure that's going to make a big difference to them. And we also began the refurbishment of a road that will make travel a lot easier. So we're very happy, and of course all the appreciation must go back to the people of Sri Lanka who support Gammadda, and we are quite blessed to be able to do this kind of work.
A large fire on the only crossing between the occupied Crimean Peninsula and Russia was caused by a lorry explosion. Russia's investigative committee says 3 people have died as a result of the explosion.
A huge blast on the road section of Russia's bridge to Crimea, which happens to be Europe's longest bridge, led to oil tankers on the rail section catching fire befue the road collapsed. The Kerch Bridge was declared open in the year 2018 and was built at a cost of $3.7 billion. Crimea was annexed in 2014 by Russia, which now uses the Kerch Bridge to move military equipment into Ukraine. The official Twitter account of the Ukraine government responded to the fire by tweeting, quote-unquote, "sick burn." An advisor to Ukraine's President Zelensky, Podolyak, called the damage a beginning, but did not directly claim Ukrainian responsibility. He tweeted, quote, "Everything illegal must be destroyed, everything stolen must be returned to Ukraine, and everything occupied by Russia must be expelled."
St. Peter's College, St. Joseph's College and St. Thomas's College participated together for the first time today in a unique rugby triangular tournament for pupils under 10.
In a unique rugby triangular tournament for pupils under 10, organized by the St. Peter's College Wolf Cubs rugby program, the Saints Triangular Rugby Shindig was held at the St. Peter's College grounds this morning. The tournament was a fun event organized to develop core rugby values and fellowship between the 3 schools.
And that's a wrap of primetime news here on News First, where the people come first. Thank you for joining. For all these stories and much more, you can visit our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Have yourself a great night.